Hello all, let's see how we can copy the data from one sheet to another sheet. So let's assume a business case where you have data from here and you want to copy the data, all the data from here to here, and you would like to make a few changes or whatever is it. For now, let's take the data like we want to copy the data from this sheet to this sheet. Let's see how we can copy without using any for loops. So why we are not going to use the for loops. You can say that, hey, why not? I mean, let's like for I is equal to 2, I is equal to 3, I is equal to 1 by one row we can copy from this sheet and paste it over here. The only problem with that is that, so these loops, if we have like less data, this is like totally fine. But if we have a like large data set, maybe like 10,000 rows or 20,000 rows, so basically it takes like longer time to run, and you have to wait for more and more time. So when I started working on Excel VBA for my automations, Excel VBA, it's an awesome tool to work actually. So you can automate many Excel works. But one of the disadvantages over here is that while looping, it takes more time. So at the time, I don't know that there is another way called we can copy the range. So I literally used to spend like lots of time just waiting for the program to run. And now I understand that there is a different way where you can copy the data just like that and paste it over here. If you use the for loop, what will happen? So it will copy this one and it will come here, it will paste here, and it will go back, it will come here, it will copy, it will paste here. So this is like a time taking task. Or else if you use the data range, it will copy the data all over the data once like this and paste it here like this. Okay, let's see how we can achieve this using Excel VBA. Okay, let's click on the developer tab. Let's click on the visual basic. So let's close this one. I would like to have a new tab, new module, sorry. So copy data from sheet 1 to sheet 2, let's say. Okay. Okay, so copy data from sheet 1 to sheet 2. That's my program. So now we are going to deal with two sheets. Okay, so I would like to have dim ws1 come dim ws1 as comma ws2 as worksheet. Okay, and on error, resume next, set ws1 is equal to this workbook dot sheets of sheet 1, and ws2 is equal to this workbook dot sheets of sheet 2. Okay, I have two sheets here now. This is fine. Now we know that we have to use this one. So basically this prevents any runtime errors, and this resets whatever the condition that we write over here. Basically whatever the program that we write after this one, we will see those runtime errors. Now first of all, I have to check whether both of these sheets are existing or not. So if not, ws1 is nothing, and not ws2, and not ws2 is ws2 is nothing, then, and if, so if in case if it is not there, I have to show it's like debug dot print she either one of the sheets not found. So let's see this one. For example, let's say instead of sheet 2, it's a sheet 21. Okay, let's run this one, and you can see that either one of the sheets not found. So I'm renaming back to sheet 2. Okay, so let's delete this one, and let's run this one, and there is no error because now we have corrected this one. Now first of all, we have to count how many rows are there and how many columns are there, because we are going to copy like this, right? So for that we need how many rows, how many number of rows, and how many number of columns. So what we can do, so dim count rows. Okay, count columns as long. Okay, so let's do the count here. Count rows is equal to, in the first sheet, sheet 1 ws1 dot rows dot count. The last row is equal to ws dot cells count rows comma 1 dot end excel up dot row. Okay, so this gives the number of rows. Let's see. Debug dot print last row. So if I run this one, okay, and okay, debug where exactly? So here, W is not WS1 actually. So reset this one. Click on. There are number of rows. 4 rows are there. This okay. This is good. And we have to find the column as well. This is for the last row, and sorry, this is count rows. Sorry. Okay. Count columns and dim last row, last column. As I said earlier, you don't have to declare the variables here, but I'm declaring it because it would look like neat and it would be very easy for the anyone to read it once after you develop the program. Now let's do the count columns is equal to ws1 dot columns dot count. Last column is equal to ws1 dot cells first row comma count columns dot end excel to left dot column. Okay, let's see how many, what is the, how many columns are there. Debug dot print. Okay, so last column, so there are 2 columns. Okay, this is totally fine. So we got to know how many columns are there and how many rows are there. Okay, and now I would like to consider the range of this one. So dim data range as range. So this is one more variable that you can remember. So set first ranges as well. For worksheet and the ranges, we have to use the set data range data data range. Okay, is equal to, so in the ws1 sheet dot range. Okay, so for from this cell to this cell, right? So this is the first row and first column. So for that I'm going to mention ws1 dot cells first row first column comma until when which one I want. So until this one, which is last row last column. So comma ws1 dot cells last row last last column. So basically here the last row is 4 and the column is 2. So basically we mentioned like 4 comma 2. And then one more. Okay, so we have this one. Now let's take now we selected the range of this one, but we need the data. So I'm taking dim data as variant. Okay, because we need the data. We just selected the range only, but we have not got the data inside this one. We only selected the range. So data is equal to data range this one dot value. Now we got the data of this one here. Now let's go into w2 sheet. So this might have some data over here. For example, earlier if there is a data like let's say like um, Ashok India, something like that. So let's clear the data over here. So how we can clear? So this one, the sheet 2, we're calling it ws2 ws2 dot cells dot clear. Okay, this will clear the data. And now I would like to move the data. So ws2 dot range. So let's select the range. So which one? ws2 dot cells 1 comma 1 comma ws2 dot cells. So last row, last column. So whatever the range here that we selected here, I'm selecting the same range and I wanted to paste it over there. Last column, ws2 dot range, w2 ws2 dot cells 1 comma 1, last column dot value value is equal to this data, the first sheet data. And let's mention like, let's do message box data copied from sheet 1 to sheet 2. Okay, now let's run this one. You can see the data has been copied from sheet 1 to sheet 2. Whatever it is over here, the data has been copied to here. So this is as simple as it is to copy the data from one sheet to another sheet. Thank you for watching this video.